Good morning, good morning. Yesterday, I celebrated, we all celebrated my daughter's 30th birthday. In fact, we did it on Saturday night as well. So we had a whole weekend of celebrations. And very, very briefly, I slipped into a part of me that could have in the past potentially spiraled into, oh my God, that means I'm really old now. And that's, God, I have a 30-year-old daughter, and what have I done? And that I'm nearing the end of my life, all of that stuff. And I was conscious of that little part of me coming up and how useless it was, really. And I chose to spend the morning before she came putting the Christmas decorations up. And I particularly got into the Christmas tree decorations because we have a whole collection of decorations for the tree that have been accumulated over the years from various sources. Not many of them I have actually bought myself. The majority of them have either been inherited or given to me as gifts. I had a really an old school friend who lived a long way away in Canada, and for a time when our children were small, we used to actually send each other Christmas tree decorations every year, and they were novel coming from Canada for me. So they've been collected over the year, and they always remind me of her and of my school days and my friendship with her. I also had a very, very dear friend who is sadly no longer with me, who loved Christmas and absolutely adored really sparkly, glitzy decorations. And he used to give me decorations for the tree. And every time I get one out, I remember him, and it can be a little bit bittersweet, but mostly these days I just love being reminded of him. I also have many that were made by my children when they were small, and they always give me great joy. And I even have inherited decorations that my mother made, actually. She made a fairy from a little wooden doll. She made all the costumes, and we don't always use it on the tree, but it's something I love to unwrap. There's also a lovely crystal star that my daughter bought when she was quite small, or she chose, that reminds me of a wonderful day we had at the Tower of London. And that goes up with great joy every year. Anyway, the point is that I was reminded by doing that of the value of old things, of the memories and the people that are often attached, the experiences and the feelings, the emotions, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And being able to reconnect with those and to have these objects that hold so many feelings and so many experiences, and are like a gateway really to my own life that has been full and rich and full of ups and downs, but nonetheless a rich and varied life that has brought me to where I am today. It sounds mad to, have a Christmas tree bauble remind you of that, but it did turn that negative stuff around very quickly, and reminded me of my own values around consumerism as well. That I don't need to go out and buy a whole load of new Christmas tree decorations. At this stage in my life, they're not really going to mean much anyway. They're just objects. Whereas the ones that I have and I unpack every year have far more meaning than that. And there are some beautiful things out there, don't get me wrong. And I'm very aware that when I go into retail establishments these days at this time of year, there's a part of me that gets very pulled into, oh, that's beautiful, I must have that. But then that, for me, is a clash with my values around consumerism, around what we're doing to this planet, around feeding the plastic mountain, or the junkyards and all the rest of it. So for me, it doesn't work, and I don't need it. Crucially, I do not need any more new stuff that is around decorating my Christmas tree. I have plenty. I have a lifetime of beautiful memories and feelings that I decorate my tree with. So I just wanted really to share that with you for two reasons. One is to just maybe, how can you enjoy unpacking old memories, old experiences, old joys and relationships even that might be attached to those Christmas decorations. And I'd love it if you shared with me, maybe one of your favourite Christmas decorations for the tree or for the house, doesn't matter which. It'd just be really nice to plug into the value that is inherent in things that have been around the block a bit and have gathered good energy. And to just watch the inevitable pull towards the new shiny things that are not going to have the same value. I mean, obviously it depends on where you are in life, because obviously new shiny objects can gather those memories over the years, but to actually rush out and actually have to replace things on an annual basis, for me, is just counterintuitive. So I wondered what your relationship is with all this new stuff that is available in the shops every year and seems to start earlier and earlier. And how you can value the things that you already have. And also, though, just generally to reconnect with your own values, because I know that most of you have very similar values to me, and that you care deeply about this lovely planet that we live on. You care deeply about the same issues that I care deeply about. And that when we choose to spend our money on shiny new objects, what are we actually choosing? What are we actually perpetuating? And how can we just become conscious of that part of us that gets, lured into that, which I'm guilty of too, and watch it and just maybe choose something else. Maybe if you do feel called that you want something new on your tree, make something. Invite your friends to make you something. Maybe that's a lovely gift that they can make for you. That's really what I wanted to just remind you of today. And I can see that, Rachel, thank you for joining me. And I know that those are your values too. And of course, I'm reminded by Rachel's presence that to do what brings you joy. That's the most important thing, I think, about this year, this part of the year, that we really plug into what brings us joy. And for me, that doesn't necessarily mean I need to, acquire lots of new stuff. It's much more about touching into the things that I already have and the memories that are attached to them. So that's what I wanted to invite you to do today. And Rachel's agreeing with me there. I had a feeling you would, Rachel. And to just have a look at your values before you go into those shops and just be really connected to what your values are before you rush out and tell yourself that you must have all these new things. So there, that's it. And I don't mean to be a Grinch at all, because of course, if you feel you really have to have that little thing and it's not harming anything or clashing for you in any way, then who am I to tell you not to? But there you go. Thank you very much for watching and for joining me. And yeah, do share what your favourite decoration is, and perhaps a little bit about why it's so important to you. And I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Have a brilliant week. Oh, Rachel, I found a beautiful stick covered with lichen in the park at the weekend. Oh, yes. I mean, it's just abundant at the moment. And I actually have to stop myself bringing home armfuls of beautiful bits of nature every time I go out for a walk. I have to stop myself at the moment because the whole house will become like a woodland. How bad. Thank you very much, Rachel, for sharing. That's a lovely, lovely share. It's just all around us, that abundance, isn't it? And actually, it looks really lovely. I've got some ivy that I just trail over the pictures that I have, and I don't cut it. I just pick what's there on the ground. And those lovely branches, you get sometimes the lovely branches with the tiny little fir cones on them. And again, they just look gorgeous and they last ages. So there you go. So thank you very much. And let's hear what else is important to people. And I will say adieu now.